Okay, Brayden.
All right, Brayden, have some comments to you about your short essay on the Freshman Survival Guide. The first thing I asked you to pay attention to is the concept of exigence in your writing. Let's move this little guy here. Okay. So as you probably remember, exigence is like the concept of urgency in your writing, a sense of what I have to say is important. And so I want to talk to you first about your treatment of urgency in your writing. Let's see if I can get urgency off of there now so we can just talk about it. The first thing I noticed that I liked is I see that you start with like a really formal beginning. My dearest freshman. That's attention getting, and to me that has a sense of urgency to it, a sense of exigence, like we talked about. And I like that. I think that that's effective. And then over here, I also see the word, let me get to it. Before you attend your class, there are just a few pointers I would like for you to gain from my freshman year. Again, that formal tone, like I have something serious to say to you, continues there. Showing respect to your teacher makes the year so much easier. Being on time to class will help you out in the long run with your teachers. I would say that those last two sentences are clear, and I like them. I think in the sense of having exigence, that you might could turn up the volume a little bit on the sense of urgency. However, I think you get there in the next two sentences slightly better. Turning in your homework can ensure a huge key to success in high school, especially in Mrs. Luton's biology class. I think huge key has a sense of exigence. I think you communicate a sense of urgency there. Also, I think the word ensure is fantastic. I think it was a wonderful word choice, and it really helps get the attention of the reader that you're saying something serious. And then moving to your closing, you say, going to support your Panther team is great, but understand that mainly seniors are the loud crowd, and you can fill in if there are empty spots on the signs. I like the word understand. You are taking a tone of authority, and again, I believe that you're doing what needs to be done there with a sense of exigence. So, overall, I would say that you achieved your goal because you have counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences or 6 sentences, but at least 3 of them, half of your sentences hit on a sense of I'm saying something important. This is an urgent thing that I'm communicating. You seem like you are invested in what you're writing, which is an important thing to do as a writer. So, and you wouldn't want to make every sentence at that higher pitch of listen to what I'm saying, because then at some point the reader would tune you out. So you turn up the volume and then you kind of come back down. I hope I can communicate it in the sense that you see that I think that that's a great balance to strike. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is, let's see here. Okay, we talked about let me pause here while I get this thing set up. Okay, continuing, let's talk about beginning your sentences with a present participial phrase. I see lots of cases of that. As we talked about, a present participial verb is anything ending in an ing. And what we discussed in class was how important it is to be able to start your sentences and add sentence variety to what you write so that not all your sentences sound the same. Most people who just consider themselves an average writer, start the sentences with a subject, and then they have a verb, and then they have an object, and it's kind of just a typical average way of writing. And starting it with a present participial phrase throws some variety in there. So I see showing respect. Let's get this going. Showing respect. There we go. Showing is a present participle. Being on time. Turning in your homework. Going to support your Panther team. I see 4 sentences out of the 5 that start with the present participial phrase. You've done a nice job of mastering that as far as beginning your sentences that way. And then if it's a true present participle phrase, your phrase will end in a comma, which you did here, mostly. And the others kind of flow, showing respect to your teachers makes the year so much easier. That one didn't have to be set apart by a comma. Being on time to class will help you out in the long run with your teachers. Again, did not have to be set up by a comma. Turning in your homework can ensure a huge key. No comma needed. On the last sentence, you put the comma where it's needed. Nice job. Now let's back up from talking about present participle phrase, and let's discuss the overall goal, which is sentence variety. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, well, sentence variety. Since I can't make that little word move yet because I somehow lost my function, remember that to learn to use a present participle phrase as part of your writing, the overall goal is, turn around there. Can I turn my arrow? There it is. Okay, the overall goal is sentence variety, and if you have every one of your sentences but one all starting with the present participle phrase, I love that you showed your command of being able to do that. Now the overall goal is to use those types of sentences as a variety of sentence mixed in with other types of sentences. Sometimes a sentence can be a boring, classic, average, subject, verb, object sentence, as long as it's mixed in with a variety of other sentences, like the one, hello, let's try this, like our present participle phrases. So, overall, I believe that you showed command of it, and then the next time we write, I would like to see you use variety and mix these types of sentences in with other classic types of sentences, along with other things that we'll be working on in class. So, in the sense of exigence, I think you earned yourself a solid 95. In the sense of present participle phrase, I'm also going to give you a solid 95. We're going to get better and better at this as far as being able to use it in a variety of ways, but overall I think you achieved your goal. Nice job. Turn in your comments to me and your grade, and I'll record it in the grade book.